What began as a passion project quickly turned into one filled with ego, hatred, infighting, rivalry, and jealousies. It started with these men here, the Grants. The Grants were UMF arts students tasked with creating video projects for their art classes. Their first class together was Animation 1. It was the first production we all worked on together, that animation class, and the first few projects we did were very basic, like a man slipping on a puddle or being chased by a monster, stuff like that. But it was that last one that really challenged us creatively. It was an animation of a wrestling match. Two colored men fighting each other as the crowd reacts to each big move they make, with Dvorak Symphony No. 9 playing over it. What we had to do for that was animate each frame single-handedly, so it took us about 20 minutes to animate each frame, and it was a 30-second long video, so it took us a couple hours to get it done, to say the least, and we definitely did not have time on our hands because the project was due in a couple days. We had half of it at least done by then, and we ran into issues with the computer, the software. It's amazing we managed to get it done as fast as we did because we really thought we were going to fail that class. Yet they didn't. Their final animation was a success, drawing in mass acclaim from teachers and students alike, along with tying third in the Pixel Hunter Video Showcase. It was basically after that class that we decided that we definitely wanted to get into film because we had a knack for storytelling and we had a million different ideas running through our heads. So we all decided that we would definitely join up for the Video 1 class next semester and then start working with actual short films, not just animated ones. Their first few projects had done extremely well, from silent pictures to comedic bits. The more success they gained, the bigger their staff got. I mean, I'm not saying we were the next Orson Welles or anything, because that would imply that people know who that is, and no one on campus knows who that is. So, you know, I'm just suggesting that maybe, just maybe, because of that, my film was better than Citizen Kane's. Is that blasphemous? I can't say. It's just my opinion. But look at the facts. We started off with just 3 people within that group. So there was myself, the writer, Boss Grant, who was the director, and Camera Grant, who was the camera guy. And it was a lot of fun doing this first 2 films together because we got our feet wet in terms of working with the actors, doing a lot of visual storytelling with real people, having to set up the shots and the frames, and working with cinematography, editing. It was a lot of fun doing that stuff and learning together. Do you want me to move position? Because I'm happy to do so. I feel like my feet are right in the camera's face and blocking mine. Let me try something real quick. How's that? I can try another one. However, things were already starting to fall apart once Video 2 began. That's what I think of that whole fiasco. Egos between us really started to get inflated after a while, particularly with the other 2 Grants because they were vicious to each other. Like, it was hard to get a word in because of how loud they were. And after a while, I just started to get really just bitter about that, and working with them was just miserable. Boss Grant was a problem after a while because he got hard to work with, he was very easily frustrated, he was constantly shouting at people, and he was saying really pretentious things like if we did a mess up in a scene or we did it wrong, not the way he wanted to, he would say that we were killing his dreams of being Hollywood's next golden boy, which, I'm not saying he has an ego or anything, but he has quite a view of himself, to say the least. Yeah, his scripts after a while were... Oh, sorry, this is not comfortable either. Can we change locations? Camera Grant was... His script became kind of shit after a while. I mean, I love Writer Grant. He's a great writer. But he was constantly using the multiple versions of Grant in the same video for almost a year now at that point. And it was like, we're in Video 2 now, and it's time time to move on, try something different. But no, he wanted to keep going with the recreate Grants because it was a working formula. Wait, no, he didn't say that. I did. He wanted to continue it. I'll be honest with you, this was a bad idea. The wind is rough. Can you hear me on that microphone? Can you hear me? This is a terrible idea. There's dust thrown up everywhere. Let's move location. I don't even like how this building's overshadowed. This building's for pretentious snobs. Well. Yeah, this is much better. And where were we again? Right. No, that was a lie. The project that really broke up the group was their second Video 2 project. The idea behind the video was Grant was going to walk around town, and for each corner he turned, time would change. So if he went around a building, day would turn to night. That was the premise. Problem was, we didn't have an actor to play Grant. Now, the director said he should play Grant. Everyone disagreed with him, mainly the writer. So the writer instead suggested he should play Grant because he wrote the character. So what we have are two battling personalities trying to decide who should play Grant in this film when we're just wasting our time with it. It was ridiculous. Who played Grant in the last few films? Some nobody. I felt like I could play Grant because, being the director, I have a vision for the world and I must put that vision out there for all to see. And, you know, I'm controlling the actors, I'm controlling the camera movements, I'm controlling the world that the camera sees. You know, I'm doing all of this. Why can't I, the person who can effectively capture this world, also play the character? Because he wanted to do scenes like these. I would like to add. To be fair to me, those were great moves. Arguments between the three would only escalate as the budget became bigger thanks to spending issues, along with constant arguments about the film's direction. We good? As I was saying, one of those idiots decided to buy a Sunset Orange PS4 controller, which was on 50 bucks. And then another idiot decided to buy a $200 Steam gift card. Like, they were helping themselves to the pie that we were trying to make for this public. He also stole $50 from that budget to buy weed.
Yeah, he's a total addict and an asshole.
Really? Yeah.
She was paid to say that. I mean, you should go look at Ryder Grant, because he's the addict, really. He's the one sucking down pills on and off set. These are Tic Tacs. After a while, the two began making such wild accusations against each other and arguing to the camera constantly that we could no longer use any of the footage between the two. You know, at a certain point, you eventually have to move on from that anger. Having that much negativity in you is not good. And they ain't going away from the past anytime soon, so they can keep bickering all they want, but I'm moving on. Let the past stay where the past is. You gotta keep positive, gotta keep focused. Try to live a life that's not too anger-free. That's hard to do in this day and age. Good night. Now get out of my room.